This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Afternoon Update. It's Tuesday, February 17th, 2015. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. Our top story. All eyes on sister CARICOM member state St. Kitts Nevis, where 24 hours after general election, there are still no official results, but the opposition coalition, Team Unity, and a throng of supporters are celebrating on the streets. After declaring only 3 seats early this morning, the supervisor of elections, Wingrove George, advised that there would be no further public announcements on the results. Hours later, Team Unity leader Timothy Harris emerged, declaring that the opposition parties had won at least 7 of the 11 seats at stake in the poll. He also appealed for calm as the party began celebrations. But in the very latest, there's word emerging from the camp of the incumbent St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party that the Denzel Douglas-led side appears willing to concede defeat. Outgoing Information Minister Nigel Carter says from all appearances, the opposition has won the poll, and it's now up to the supervisor of elections to come forward and clear the air.
We want to say to the general public that we would really like for this matter to be over with as quickly as possible. We are calling on the supervisor to do what is required to ensure that the results are announced as quickly as possible.
Across the Caribbean, the Vincentian Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, blasted the actions of the supervisor of elections as he appealed for the people of the Federation to remain calm.
This unprecedented tardiness of the Office of the Supervisor of Elections, in both respects, has given rise to unnecessary political uncertainty, particularly against the backdrop of the controversies surrounding the motion of no confidence against the government and the alteration of the constituency boundaries. The democratic institutions of state, namely the law courts and the general elections themselves, have worked satisfactorily despite hiccups along the way. It is not acceptable for the Office of the Supervisor of Elections to abdicate its legal and customary obligations or responsibilities. Peace, patience, and calm, and enduring calm, are requisites now more than ever for the political leaders, civil society, and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Political analyst Peter Wickham says the developments in St. Kitts Nevis are unprecedented in Caribbean politics.
It's all part of the game that we've been playing that started with the vote of no confidence and continues. Everyone knows the result. I was just at a celebratory rally. I think that the population has accepted that the government has changed. There's clearly a majority of seats, but we are still playing games with the officialdom. We are being told that the supervisor of elections was fearing for his life yesterday, and as a result he couldn't continue, and now he's saying today that there are issues that have to be resolved in relation to people challenging electoral results. But in the meantime, the population has accepted that the government has changed, but it has been a most irregular election, and this is essentially the culmination of a series of irregular events.
Back in Barbados, opposition leader Mia Motley has weighed in on the situation, and she's calling on the powers in St. Kitts Nevis to respect the will of the people. Motley points out that while the results are not yet official, the apparent outcome of the poll shows what people coming together for the right reasons can accomplish. But she said the situation in the Twin Island Federation reinforces the need for CARICOM and the OECS to implement a mechanism that will ensure that the rights of all citizens are not frustrated. In other news, a lack of quorum led to the suspension of Parliament just minutes after it began this morning as the opposition staged yet another walkout of the House in protest of House Speaker Michael Carrington. Carl Williams is on location and filed this report.
The sitting of the House of Assembly was suspended for about 15 minutes this morning after an opposition walkout. The 3 members of the Barbados Labour Party were in the House when the sitting began, but they walked out in protest. As House Speaker Michael Carrington took the chair, the opposition has been demanding that Carrington, an attorney, remain away from the chair due to a legal dispute he had with a client over the payment of just over $200,000. Carrington has since settled the matter. However, the opposition is holding to its position. The sitting later resumed with debate on the Immigration Amendment Bill. Reporting from Parliament, Carol Williams for Barbados Today.
All's not well at the country's main hospital, and Barbadians are being told to prepare for possible protest action which could result in disruptions at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. The warning from the Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners following a meeting with the QEH management about the continued shortage of basic medical supplies yesterday. Although not specifying when or what form the action would take, BAMP's Public Relations Officer, Dr. Linda Williams, says the move would be in the best interest of the public.
The commitments made in December 2014 to provide continuous funding for procurement of day-to-day supplies have not been realized. As a result, there has been ongoing difficulty in providing optimum patient care. Our members have decided that BAMP must act in the best interest of the public to ensure that patient safety at the QEH is not compromised.
O'Brien Fernando Knight, who was the subject of a police wanted bulletin list, will appear in court today to answer charges of serious bodily harm. The 47-year-old of Level Road, Messiah Street, St. John, allegedly chopped a man about the body several times on December 28th last year. Knight, who surrendered to police yesterday, will appear in the District C Magistrates Court.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's time for AgriFest again. Come and enjoy the National Agricultural Exhibition on February 27th to March 1st at the historic Queen's Park. Over 300 exhibits on show, highlighting the theme, inclusive agriculture, strengthening linkages, creating synergies. AgriFest 2015, the biggest agricultural exhibition in the Caribbean. Don't miss it.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits, with a solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, with a solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In Haiti, over 18 people are dead and another 60 were injured after an electrical pole fell on a carnival float early this morning. According to report, thousands of people were participating in the carnival in Port-au-Prince when the accident occurred. Some people were allegedly electrocuted and the others died during the panic that ensued. The float was one of 16 on parade. And finally, on the international scene, treacherous driving conditions in parts of southern United States as residents continue battling icy conditions. Emergency officials have declared a state of emergency in Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia as snow glazed roads and knocked down power lines. That's our afternoon updates, but you can join us again this evening. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Lime TV, as well as Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Have a safe day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.